How are you guys? Welcome to this week's part 2 of Craft and Connect. Um, let's see here. I hope y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Good. So let me go over here. I want to make sure that everything is set up properly. All right, I think we are good. All right. So how was your week? Mine was, we had a lot going on this week. Hi, Mandy. Glad you're here. Let me make sure that. Hey, Karen. Glad you're here. Gosh, I had to run some errands this morning and our weather has totally changed. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Shelly. Yeah, so our weather has totally changed. I came home and I was out and about and I came home and I was freezing. And that hasn't happened for a long time. You're cleaning up your scrap mess from today's project. If you could only see my office, this little creative bubble right here, it's all somewhat organized. The rest of it looks like a bomb went off. And I have to be very careful what I show you. So, yeah, so all is good. Fall is here. We did a little show and tell of the embellishments that are included in our September kits. Was that not yes? That was Wednesday afternoon, evening, depending on where you're at. But we showed all of the pretty bits and pieces, which are right here. So hopefully you were able to join me for that. If you missed it, be sure to check it out because our September kits were just released on Tuesday. Monday. Tuesday. I can't remember what I've lost all track of time. They were released earlier this week. So yeah, so you'll find them on our website and they were really good Tuesday. Somebody remembers. So they were released on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we did a little show and tell of all of the embellishments, and we're just waiting for the paper to arrive, and we will begin shipping them next week. So they will be arriving on your door. And if you haven't already ordered yours, there's still time to do that. If you haven't placed your order for your add-on kits, be sure to take a look at our color kit and our dies and cardstock and all that kind of good stuff, because there's lots to be seen and coveted there. In fact, we kind of during our show and tell, we swatched the colors in our color kit. So we've got a really beautiful blue, an orange, and a green. And I can totally see this green and even this blue. That teacup die set, so good. Anyway, I can see the blue and this green kind of going into the holiday season. So I'm excited about that. And then we kind of messed with them a little bit just to create just some random backgrounds. So I don't know if you can see this. Now these are all flat. So yeah, so there's 3 different Lindy's colors, and I just kind of was showing everybody the difference between when you add them to paper that's treated with gesso as opposed to what happens when you add them directly to plain cardstock. So the plain cardstock, everything saturates and the pigment absorbs right into the paper, but you can kind of blend and move the color around if you have gesso because it stays kind of on the top. This is kind of a, gesso is kind of a protectant layer if you don't know, and it serves as a barrier between your cardstock and your color. So we messed with those, which was kind of fun at the end. Those are going on the floor. So for those of you, I'll put a link to the September show and tell video. I'll put a link below. And then also too, today is part 2 of our July kit Craft and Connect class. And so we've done the first layout. We did this one on Sunday. And so we've got 2 more we're doing today, and they're a little less complicated. So I think we'll be able to make it through both of these tonight. And then we'll move on to August, and I'm working on finishing our August project sheets and also our September ones. And I've got a bunch of cut files for you too that I'll be releasing probably next week at some point in time. So I've got we've had a lot of requests for some things that might be more boyish or masculine. So I've done a few of those as well that will be added to the selection for some of the months that we are behind on. So does anybody have any questions about any of the stuff that we've been doing, what we're doing now, what we're doing tonight? You can just feel free to ask. And then Bob, since through most of this, I have my head down and I don't see my my camera. So if I miss your question, I'm gonna have Bob try to keep an eye on it, and he'll give me a heads up if there are any questions that I need to answer. If I miss them, I will answer them in the comments below after the video. Hi, Leisha. Am I saying your name right? Leisha? Leisha? I'm horrible. It's okay. So let's get started so that I don't take up your whole evening. Or maybe you've planned to spend your whole evening with me, which is great too. So and then one other thing, so check out, if you can use, one thing I'll mention, you can use whatever products you have on hand. In the description box below, there's a list of the types of products that you need to gather to create these pages. There's also a link to the project sheets. They're digital this month, and I printed mine in black and white. But usually our goal is to be sending you a color project sheet with your kit each month. But they're available on our website. There's a link to these, and along with a cutting template, which I have cut up but there's a cutting template that will help you. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the project sheets. I think that they're really easy to follow, and we try to do that with as few steps as possible. So I think the visual on the project sheets, I think, is really helpful, and I think that it makes it really easy to follow along and assemble your page without looking at the entire page and wondering where to start. So there's, three or four very distinct, if I can, four very distinct steps. The first one shows you all the products that you need to gather. If there's any specific sizes of paper that you need to pre-cut, those are listed here, and also the size of your photos. And then the first image shows the larger things that you're going to add to your layout. So like the kind of the background, so to speak. So your photos and then the larger pieces of paper. It's Lachey. Did I get it right? I think I did. Lachey. I'll remember that. So then you add your larger pieces, and then the third image shows you which larger or medium embellishments to add. And then the final image shows like all the finishing touches and the smaller embellishments like puffy stickers and tiny embellishments that you'll add to your page to finish it off. So I'm glad you like the project sheets. And then here's the, so we're creating that layout tonight, and we're also creating this one. So, oh good, Elizabeth, I'm glad you like them. I think that the layouts for this kit are really fun, and I have lots more ideas kind of brewing around in my head. And so if I am able to do those, maybe we'll do like an impromptu live where we just gather together and just kind of have a little crop. Wouldn't that be fun? So yeah, so you can use whatever like I said, you can use whatever products you want on your page. Just kind of gather things that are kind of similar from your stash that you want to use, and use the cutting guidelines and that kind of thing to recreate your page. The other thing that I'll mention, if you want to create using the same products that I'm using, you can find them on our website, and there's a link in the description box below where you can check all of those out, and also a link to the project sheets that you can check as well. And so then if you have them on your iPad or your laptop or whatever while you're creating, you can refer to those, and they're full color, and then you can zoom in as you need to see more of the details. So those are really helpful. And if you want to check out more about our kits and our subscriptions, visit our website at www.hipkitclub.net. And then finally, if you haven't had a chance to join our Craft and Connect community on School, I highly recommend that you do it. It's so much fun. We launched it about 3 weeks ago, and we have just lots of people. It's a great way to connect with other people that are passionate about scrapping. You can talk about everything craft related. You can share your projects, and everything is nice and organized so that when you share something, people see it and people interact with it. And that's very different really than what's happening on social media. So this is like a welcome thing. And I wanted to create an environment and a space where everybody can gather together and connect with other like-minded crafters who are passionate about having that creative outlet. And this is something that happened early on in the scrapbooking world when there were stores everywhere. People would gather together, you'd meet people, you'd share your ideas, you'd learn about new products, you'd learn how to use them, you'd, share your projects with one another, and, you chat with the owner, whatever. And you'd carve out time every week to go to a crop or a class. Sometimes you'd go with your friends, sometimes you'd go by yourself. And so I wanted to create a space that was very similar to that. And so, hi, how are you? I'm so glad that you're here. Nana, that's what my girls called my mom. So I love that. Okay, so let's get started. For our Craft and Connect community, I know it was so much fun being able to scrap together. And so I I really feel like this is something that I've missed for a very long time, and I don't think that I'm the only one. And I just think that it's really important for us as a community of crafters to have a place where we can call home, so to speak. So head on over. There's a link in the description box. Take a moment. It's free. There's no cost at the moment. And if you join now, you'll join for free. So it's a great opportunity. And we'll have classes and all kinds of things going on that we'll be putting on. But in addition to that, it's a place for all of us just to gather and share. So check it out. There is a pinned post that says, let's get started. You introduce yourself there. And then you watch, there's 2 short screen share videos. One that walks you through the community, shows you how everything is set up. Yeah, the chit chat part is awesome. I love it. It's so much fun for me to go to a place where there's so many people and there's so much activity, and people are, chatting with one another and sharing posts, and, people are finding common ground. So anyway, so you'll go there, you'll watch the video that is a screen share. It will walk you through how everything is set up and organized. And then the second one will show you how to create your posts, one with text, one with photos, and one embedding video. So you'll feel really comfortable in being able to do that. And once you create that first post, that's always the scariest part. Like, I'm going to post this. Is anybody going to see it? Is anybody going to answer? That kind of thing. So, it's great. You're going to love it. So head on over. There's a link in the description box below as well. And before we get started as well, if you enjoy my lives and our process videos and our little shorts and all of the inspiration that we're providing on our channel, be sure to like my video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And even better, share our channel with your other crafty friends and let them know about us. And that really helps us as well. So anyway, all right, so let's get started. Otherwise, it's going to be 10 o'clock before we finish, and that's just how I work. So I'm going to flip my camera. You're going to see my ceiling for a quick second, but then everything's going to be great. So let me do this. All right. Alrighty. So hang tight for 1 second. And I'm going to flip this around. Voila. Now let's just zoom in just a little bit. All right. You can probably hear my cat. He does this thing where he carries toys around and screams. It's the funniest thing. Okay, so I think we are pretty good. All right. Okay. Good, 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 good. All right. So I think we're good. I think you can't see too much of the disaster around here. So these are all the things that we're going to be using. We've got these super cute vellum Mixed Media alphabet, some puppy stickers, and a bunch of die cuts and chipboard. And just to take a peek, we've already done one page, but look at how much we've still got. I mean, you can easily probably get 10 layouts. If you use if you augment your kit with white cardstock, you can easily make 10, 12, 15 pages with a kit, which is fabulous. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do, I think we're gonna do this layout first. And honestly, you know, one of these times I'm gonna figure out, I think I can screen share maybe an image with the layout, but I it probably won't do anybody any good anyway because it will be so small. So never mind. Just thinking out loud. Okay, so we're gonna do this this birthday page. And what you need are 2 paper strips that are 12 by 1. And this paper is called, oh, there's, okay, let's see, does it have, oh, it does have the name on it. It's called Party Trick, and it's the one that has the little balloon animals on the back. And I'm working on a balloon animal cut file for to go with this kit, so that'll be kind of fun. All right, so you need that. You need 2 3.5-inch circle photos, and if you have circle dies, as I said before, I haven't fixed my photo issue, so I'm using white cardstock to do my as placeholders for my photos. But one of the things, if you have like nested dies, you can use those to cut your photo, or if you have like a really big punch, you can do that as well. What I did with these, I went really old school. So here is my compass. I mean, who remembers these from like back in the day from what, geometry or whatever? I use this all the time, and I'll show you quickly. I'll do it on the back of this, but what I did, so I needed a 3.5-inch circle, right? So I drew a 3.5-inch line. So 1, 2, 3.5. And then in the middle of that is 1 3/4. And I put a little line there. And then I took the center of my compass and put the little point in and put the pencil at the end of that line, and there you go. it's not pretty. I mean, I think back in the day I probably, and there you go. You've got a circle, and then I just fussy cut around it. So these are like probably $2. Super cheap, and they work great. The other thing, if you have like I have like some drafting stuff that I bought because I thought it would be helpful, and I haven't really used it, but I have these things, and I think, you know what they remind me of? Spirograph. But so, you know, if you wanted, I don't know. Anyway, I got these at Michael's. I think that they were in the drawing and art drafting, or the drafting supplies are. Maybe they're both the same. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, and I'm going to stop now. Okay, so you'll need you'll need your 3.5-inch circles. You'll need 2 strips of this patterned paper, and then a variety of different die cuts. So we've got a chipboard frame. This isn't in the list of things that you need, but I might use him, so I just pulled him out. He's a little chipboard cheetah. Here's a chipboard rainbow, some balloons, and there's a few labels and some other circular labels, a little zebra, a birthday cake, a giraffe, another little cheetah, and then a few other bits and pieces. And I have to search for the title on this because I was in a rush, and I can't remember which thing it's in. I want to say that it's probably in the die cuts, and I just missed it, but we'll figure that out. And then, so those are the things that you're gonna need. This we don't need, and nor do we need this. So I'm gonna put the die cuts and everything back in my little tray here, because the last few times I've lost things when I'm creating my page, and they go off into the abyss, and I spend time searching for them that I don't need to be doing or using. So quickly, I'm going to trim the branding strip off my white cardstock. This used to be, I think it used to be like gray, and I've had it for such a long time. It's completely discolored into this really awful looking, I wouldn't even call it tan, but you know what? It cuts perfectly straight. I've never had to replace a blade, and if it weren't so large, I would recommend it to everybody. So let's start by taking our 2 paper strips, and we'll glue them to the edge of our white cardstock. And I'm not putting the glue towards the upper part of this one because I might want to lift that just slightly, perhaps. And then I'll flip this one and do the same thing. So I love the colors on this paper. pulls all of the colors of all of the things that we're including on this page together without adding a ton of pattern, because there's lots of pattern in all the little things. So let's see. Okay, so those two things are there. And then next, we are going to add a few of the things. And what I'm going to do here, I often do a like a line that kind of guides my page. So this time I think I'm going to go at about 5.5 inches from the top, because my title is gonna kind of hang down on this lower part of my page, and so I want my center line to be lifted slightly so that there's room to add the title. And I'm just gonna run my eraser over the top so that this is there but not obvious. Okay, so I'm just gonna, there we go. All right, so that kind of gives us a place to start. There is this sticker here, and we have these, they're awesome, these faux mixed media stickers. I absolutely love them. They are delicate, so you have to be quite careful when you peel them off. But, and the thing is, you can use them in multiple places. So I'm going to cut this and just kind of remove this off here. And then I can see where I want to put it before I take it off. Because once you stick these down, you can't lift them. There's just no way to do that. So we've got one that's going to go on this side here. And then we've got a part of it that's going to go on this side. And these are cool because it has like that faux mixed media texture to it. And it's got orange, and then there's a little bit of pink distressing in them too. So it brings in that pink also. Okay, so then we're also going to take, let's see here. I want to be able to make sure that I'm using the right thing in the right place. Okay, so we're going to take this guy and we're going to cut him in half. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so I want to take this guy, I'm going to cut him in half. And this is a prime example of how you can get a lot of bang out of your buck for the die cuts, because you can use them in multiple places, especially if they're if you're going to tuck them under other things. It's great to be able to utilize them in other places. And we're going to do the same thing with this yellow one as well. So we'll cut him in half. And then this one, we're going to keep the way that it is. And we've got our 2 photos. The one thing that I do know with my photos is that I am going to add some foam. And where did I put my foam? Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Grab a sheet of it. I reordered some of this, and this one has adhesive on the back, so it makes it a little quicker and easier. So I'm going to take this and put it on the back and do the same thing. I got these on Amazon, and they were inexpensive, and I love it because it's fast. So I want to make sure. Pencil lines. So I need to erase those because my pencil lines from cutting this are visible on this one. One thing I like about these mechanical pencils is that the eraser erases really well, and the lead lifts. You know, sometimes you get lead that you mark with your pencil and it's impossible to get it to erase completely. Okay, and then we've got this little guy, and I am going to add some foam behind him as well. And this is a great way to do it without having. So if you cut your foam, your craft foam in thin strips, you can manipulate it. On the back of your page, and I am not showing up on the other side, so that's a good thing. Make sure. I'll add just another little bit, but that way you don't have to do a bunch of little pieces. I think I just need that much. So from last time we were talking, and we were talking about books, which is kind of a big, we have a really great thread in our Craft and Connect community. Lots of people who love books and who are avid readers, and we're all kind of adding our suggestions and titles and that kind of thing for books that we are enjoying in our community there. And so we were talking last week during our live, and I was talking about The Correspondent, which was the book that I was reading, and I finished it and I loved it. So if you're looking for something super unique, it's a fantastic story. It's written by, gosh, I can't remember the author's name, but the cool thing about it is that it tells her story and her relationship with people in her life through the letters that she writes back and forth with her family, with friends, with just about anybody, neighbors. She's just an avid, that's how she communicates with people, is by writing letters, which um, today is kind of a lost art, so to speak. It's rare when you get a letter or a card that's handwritten in the mail. Um, so, okay. So these are some of the pieces, and I think that this guy is going to need to be lifted as well, but I have to kind of figure out how we're going to do that, or what needs to go where. So I'm just going to kind of lay these down the way that I think that they might go, so that I think that no, I want this one with a little note over here, and then this guy is going to be tucked under here just to add that little bit of color. And then this guy is going to kind of overlap both of these pieces. And so I might end up removing a little bit of that foam so that he can sit on top of these a little bit better. But I need to kind of figure out where everything is going to go before I do that. And then these, I need my craft knife, actually my paper piercer. I just want to remove these little extra pieces on my balloon to kind of hollow out those areas, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it adds a little shadow and it makes it just a little bit more interesting. So he's going to sit about right here, I think. So I don't want anything too crowded. And then this guy is going to go here. So I just want to make sure that I have enough room going across my page so that everything fits, right? And then this guy is going to go under here, and he is going to be lifted as well. I think I might kind of lift him just a little bit so he goes about right there. And then this one is going to go here. So we're kind of building this line across our page. And I hope that that is kind of making sense to everybody. Alrighty. Gosh, you guys, I know that the postage to Australia is horribly expensive, and it's horribly expensive on our end. And we've looked for all kinds of different options for shipping, and currently DHL has the absolute lowest price. So it's not like we're randomly choosing the cost. It's just expensive. So but we keep an eye on it all the time, and we try to make everything as affordable as we can for everybody, because I know we're all on a budget, and so gotta make it work. Okay, so what we'll do here is, I think that my little These little guys, put these down first, because if you you can tuck them underneath some things, but for this one, I want to make sure that they're not so much that they're straight, but so that they're on the same line with one another. So I'm going to put this here. Okay, so there. Look how cute that is. So these are just going kind of underneath that line that I created on my page. And I'm being very careful as I remove these from the backing. And I'm going to set this along the edge here. So we've got a little orange on this side and a little orange on this side. And so that is going to kind of extend that color all the way across our page. The exchange rate is bad too. Yeah, I know. Okay, so now what we need to do is we're going to start to adhere some of these things down. And I know for sure that this guy is going to need some foam. And I think that I'm going to put 2 layers of foam behind him. And let's see. I'm trying to follow the shape a little bit. Okay. Need to remember to put this on top of this so it doesn't clog, because this glue dries pretty quickly. Okay, so here, I think that he is going to sit on top of this. So I'm going to remove just a touch of this so that he can sit on top of this photo. Okay, so we've got this guy and this guy, and then this guy is going to kind of just adjust them a little bit so that they can situate themselves. I almost want an extra layer of foam behind him because I want him a little bit elevated. From, yeah, there we go. So that would be that, and then that would mean that there needs to be this second layer here. So he's going to be able to sit here. Bingo. Okay. And we may add some more foam behind him as well, because he's going to want to sit up here. Actually, I might remove some, because he's got some dimension on him already. I know it's funny, I call them like names. Him, her. Okay. So I want this to sit about right here. And then our little balloons are going to go about right here. So I want to make sure, I think I'm going to put a little bit of tape runner behind here so that I can move it if I need to. But I'm going to set him here, and I'm going to put a little bit of foam here too. I just want things to kind of sit down or stay on the page, but if I need to adjust them slightly, I can. Okay, so this one is going to situate itself about here. And then I think I want him just a little bit. There we go. And then this guy, put a little bit of adhesive here. I want him to sit about right here. Let's see. Okay. I need to find the ones that I removed the adhesive from. Okay. Okay, so he's going to sit right about there. Stay. Okay, and then this guy, and what I'll do when I'm done is I'm just going to pick all these things up slightly, and then I will add liquid glue behind them. But this helps me just kind of situate our page a little bit. Okay, so then this guy, I'm going to sit him about right here. Make sure that everything fits. And then this one will go here. I'm going to situate him about right there. And then this guy is also going to need a little bit of foam behind him. And because he's going to be sitting on top of the add a little bit of adhesive over here. So it's going to be about right here. So we have this fun kind of scallopy design going across our page. So here we've got our first like kind of layer of stuff. I think I'm going to move him down just a bit because I want this guy out here. Okay, so there we've got everything. I didn't want him to be too, I didn't want to crowd our balloons too much. So I think we're good there. So now I'm going to add some liquid glue. And it's great that I didn't put the lid on that, and so it's kind of plugged up slightly. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to add some liquid glue here. Oops. Slipping and sliding. There we go. Okay. And then this guy, with him, and he is going right here. And then I'm going to need to add, I'm going to take these off because I can add these here. Yeah, the back always looks awful, right? Well, at least for me it does. For those of you that probably use foam squares, it isn't quite as ugly as what mine look like. Okay, so and I'm going to add some liquid glue here. So this, I want to slip here. Actually, lift it just a tad. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to have any trapped space between each of these pieces. Okay. Oops, stay. And then this guy is perfect where he is, so I'll just add some glue there. And then this guy, just need to add some glue behind him. And he is going to sit right about here. Okay. So we have all the little bits. He's in a good spot. This guy just needs some glue here. So I just want to make sure that everything that I've put down so far is going to stay in place because I'm good on the placement of each of these things. So I want some glue here and some on this side under this foam. All right. So now all the first steps are done, and the easy part the easy part comes. Okay. So this kind of gives us the foundation of everything else that we're going to layer down. So one of the things that we want is our little birthday cake, and he'll sit about right here. We've got our little party zebra, and he's going to be about right here. Him. And then we've got our giraffe that I love, and he needs to be part of the party as well. Kind of want him to, I don't want to overlap my photo too much, so I'm kind of trying to make sure that we're putting stuff where, okay. And then our little cougar is going to sit right up in here. All right. And then we've also got this guy, and I think I'm going to put 2 layers of foam behind him, because I don't want him buried down too deeply in this frame. Plus, everyone knows I'm all about dimension. Okay. There we go. So this guy is going right in here. Look at that pretty shadow that adds. Okay. And this guy just needs something to sit on him so he stays in place. Set that there for just a minute. And then I need a little trying to see which so these guys believe that looking for little here we go. Looking for this guy, and he says having fun. So he'll sit right here, but I also need this little, I use this little green, is it a green button that I want? I feel like I want something a little bit bigger than that. The image shows that there is like a little round piece there, but I'm feeling like I want something that has just a little bit more. I think I like this guy here, and I'm putting a little foam behind him as well. I wanted something that was gonna have just enough of a presence. I liked the little round button, but I just feel like it's too small. Plus we have a lot of circular stuff. Oh, this is not the right one. This is the one. That one's all plugged up because I left the, okay. So I'm going to set that there. He's going to sit here. And then I'm going to situate this guy right here. I love the effect that you get from adding the dimension behind everything. Okay. So now we need to add our little, we need to add some foam. Add some foam behind for all of these things. So here is for our cake. It needs to be just a little bit more narrow. So I'll put him here. And then I'm going to use this guy to secure the bottom of the plate because it's dainty and it will collapse. Okay, so he'll sit here. Oh, this guy has a little piece of foam that is hitting that. I'm probably going to bend this. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, that's better because it was landing on the foam was landing up on top of the rainbow, and so it wasn't sitting right. There we go. So I want that to sit there. Okay. Sit him there. Because nothing likes to sit down right. Okay. Maybe I'll rest my scissors there. Okay, so now, well, no, that won't work because I need them. So now we're going to add foam to our zebra. And need a smaller piece for his head. And I need a teeny piece for his whistle. And like, if you guys are not like big into dimension, you can do this completely flat. It's really a personal preference. Right. I'm going to put another one that is right on the ball of his hat. When they go into your albums and things lay down on one another. Sometimes right, and then we do a couple more. So I want one here, one here, and this just makes sure that nothing really dips down, so everything is kind of supported. And all right, so this guy is going to sit about right here. And honestly, oh, we have a visitor. Hey, Nuts. Do any of you guys have cats that are like horribly, horribly food motivated? This cat lives for food, and he's so picky. We'll buy food. We think he likes it. He likes it for 3 days, and we've got 10 cans of it left. And then he decides that it's not good enough for him anymore, and he wants to move on to something else. Okay, so he's going to sit there. This guy is going to go about right here. And I'm gauging where this guy is going to sit as well. So this guy, he's tricky because he just needs long limbs. This guy, it's his neck. He needs his head. You know, I should probably start by like having all of my dimensional adhesive added to everything before we start, and then you guys don't have to sit and watch me do this. You're probably hating it. Okay, so here's one leg. Here's another leg. So right now I am reading a book, or listening to a book called The Dutch House, which is really good. Kind of a nice switch from all of my crime and mystery stuff that I usually lean toward. My brother-in-law, because my sister also watches like a lot of mystery and crime stuff, and he calls it Murder Mayhem. And jokes about, and he won't watch it, or he won't. So like we both like old reruns of Law and Order, and I've recently rewatched NYPD Blue, which is super old, but it's so good. I tell my girls about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good, you should try it. And they're like, yeah, no thanks. So, and currently Bob and I are watching Deadwood. We were on a reality TV we watched a lot of reality TV for a while there, and it's kind of nice to switch it up a little bit, getting out of people's messy lives. So this little guy, I think that these front legs are going to be fine, because I think that they're going to get covered up by him. So I think he's going to sit there. He might actually need some more foam behind him. Here, this piece. So figure out exactly what's happening, because I can add more to him as we go on. Alright, so this and this, I think are going to sit there just about like that. And then we're going to add our cake right about here. I kind of want, okay, so the cake, I'm going to go ahead and put him down. Okay. So I want him right about here. Just need him to stick down and stay in place. This is such a fun page. I'm not like usually a themed scrapbooker necessarily, but this kit is so like eclectic, and it's clever. Like, I don't know, I love like all the different, like the zebra, he's kind of just, he's a cool dude, and the color of the, nothing is intending to be the actual animal or a cartoon version of it. They're all kind of, I guess, kind of artsy a little bit, which is what I had in mind as we designed this. Okay. These little guys are going to need to be situated. Okay. So I'm going to put him about, I want him to be kind of at a place where he can blow at the candles. And I'm just going to leave his legs. I'll deal with his legs later, because I can always add more foam behind them. And then this guy, put him about right here. I think he doesn't need this because he's gonna I would have lifted him up, but he's so cute. Okay. Our little zoo. And then finally, we've got this guy, right? And he absolutely needs foam. Here. And he's going to be sitting. I'm going to cut his tail off because I want him tucked in here. How cute is this? I love it. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to do is add our title. I think I might add a couple more pieces at the very end, but right now we're kind of good. All right, let's kind of clear some of this up so that so now I have to gather my alphabet. Now there's two different ways that you could go about doing your title. These alphas are vellum, and so let's see here. I think I want a little thing to put them in so I can sort through it. Dust. Okay. Now let's get down. Now we need our alphas, and I need B and H. Gosh, lots and lots and lots. Let's see here. I'm going to use the green. No. Q, C, P, the D, F, bat, R-I-Q. I'm finding every letter that I don't need. O, W, M, L, R, H, P, U, K, U, J, T, Y, K, N, A, V, S, I. Where are all my letters? Okay, so H, A, I need another P, must have B, N, B, Z, E, I, D. I don't think that's the one I want. J, B, L, N, R, W. Oh, there's a Y. I think I want that. H, A, B, D. I think I've got them all. H, A, D, A, Y, H, A, P. I'm missing a P, so I need right. Oh, no, I've got both of them. Okay, so here we go. So what you could do with these, since they are vellum, and if you wanted to add dimension behind them, you could layer them with like white cardstock and then put your foam behind it. Because if you add foam behind these the way that they are, you're going to see it. So you don't want to do that. I'm just going to put them on flat, believe it or not. And okay, so what I want to do is pencil, and actually I'm going to kind of cluster these and layer them together because I think I may have pushed this down a little further than I wanted to in leaving space for my title. So my title's getting a little crowded. H-A-P, P-Y. Okay. So let's start with, I'm going to start with the lower, knowing that and I'm just going to put some liquid adhesive. And the thing to remember about liquid adhesive and vellum is that moisture likes to make vellum curl. So you need to make sure that you add enough so that it holds it in place, right? Well, somehow this got paused all the way. Let's see. Yes, we will we will do these alphas again for sure. We did them, we did one that was similar but not mixed media-ish in February, I think. And okay, so I want to make sure that so now I know where that's going to sit, and I need to kind of create space for the others that are going to sit on top. So I'm going to draw a little line here. And the reason I want to do this is I am going to make sure that my letters, because I've definitely got plenty of space with the letters on the bottom, but I need to make sure that I have enough space, or that I kind of do the same crowding, so to speak, as I do on the bottom as I do on the top. And I'm a little bit more pressed for space on the top. So I figure adding these first, actually, kind of put the adhesive behind these, and then I'll do you guys have any good series that you guys are watching right now? Always looking for something that both Bob and I can agree to watch at the same time. So I think I got glue everywhere, but that's all right. This dries clear, so I want him about right here. So like I said, you want to make sure that you glue these down entirely. Here's a P. Layer him over. P and another P. Perfect. I think that they're spaced just exactly right. Okay. We thought about doing these as stickers, but I think die cuts is a better idea, because peeling the stickers off of the backing, you have to be so careful, and they tear. So if you're not careful, so it's a lot easier to handle the die cuts than it is to. Okay, so where are B? Did I not have a D? Did I pull it out? Oh, okay. See, that's why I put things aside. Okay, so we need our D, and I'm just putting little dots. But I'm feeling like you got to make sure that you get your corners down, because they kind of lift a little bit. And I'm going to slip the D kind of underneath the B here. And all right, so here goes the A. And he's a little crooked, but I think it's all right. And then the Y. All right, so there's the title. And for all intents and purposes, we're done, I think. But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like we need a few more little bits and pieces. So, I think that's overkill, but he could sit over here. Oh, no, too much. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling like it needs something over here in this corner to kind of pull down. I also think the only thing that bugs me about that is that I have trap space here. So what could I... because I want the black over here, I think. Put it here. The cool thing about creating this while I'm filming is that so where am I? Okay, so now somehow I'm lagging. Okay. Do I like it? Let's see. Did I zoom? It looks like I might have zoomed in a little bit when I messed with my phone. But I didn't. All right. I don't know. What do you guys think of the little Make-A-Wish? Do you think I almost think he looks good there. Or you could go here. I just don't want him to look lonely. This is here and here. And then that way it pulls kind of from top to bottom. Because maybe those other guys looked a little lonely on the other side. I feel like I'm frame a little bit. I don't know why. So weird. Maybe the black pop over on the left-hand side near the green flag. The only reason why I am thinking that we already have this little chipboard here, and we have a lot of round stuff over here. And so I'm kind of feeling like, am I completely out of frame here, people? Because on the screen of my phone, okay. I don't know what I did. Anyway, so if I put it over here, we've got like two little circles that are the same. And I think it might be too symmetrical, and he looks like he's kind of floating. But if I put him here, and then I have kind of this little cluster here, or I take him off altogether and I leave it the way that it is supposed to be, and then I think it's better, honestly. And take this guy off too. It's empty right there, right? I think he does need to be here. Maybe he needs to be here, and then these guys need to be kind of going up the page. Let's see. Yeah, I think I like that better. Do you like that better? We could put a heart here, because that's got a little bit of space there. Or the green heart, maybe. The green heart's too big. And I think I like this here. I wonder if there are nah, don't like that either. Can't put a little black thing there though. Okay, so I think this is good. I think we're going to put him here. Put some glue down. No, I didn't. Okay, so him, and then him, and this guy. Right. Okay. I like it. What do you think? Are we balanced? We are. I think we're balanced. Or, see, this is what happens. Kind of like this. Maybe. Because it's a different texture than the little heart. And I think that it's going to give enough of a pop of black over there. Yes, that was what we needed. He's a little off center, but I think he's good. All right, I'm leaving it. Okay, so layout number 1 is done. I think I'm going to also just go along the edge here and add a little texture by just running my fingers under this part. Yeah. All right. I think we're good. All right, so layout number 1, done. This next one has fewer pieces, and so it will be a little quicker, I believe. So what do you think? Love it. One more. I think that, and now we're done. Hey Kim, good to see you. My head is down the whole time, and yeah, I like the black there. Honestly, okay, I could just keep adding and adding and adding. But do I like another one? Let's see. Do we like that or no? No. Nope, nope. Less is more. It's just like makeup. Okay. All right, so let's move on to everything's glued down. So layout number 1 is done. And I think it's super cute. So we're good. Don't need these at the moment. So I'm going to set these aside. We're going to use, see, look at all the texture and dimension. You can see it better when you hold it up and move it around a bit. And I probably, because this has so much color, definitely going to use black and white photos with this. Okay, so now let's move on to layout number 2. And again, I'm going to cut the branding strip off of my cardstock. Chuck that. I have to be sure when I like cut the branding strips off of my my scrapbook paper that I want to keep, that I hide it, because my cat, she likes to chew on them, and I find them all over the house. So, okay. So these things all kind of go over there. Now we are going to make our little pie-shaped page, which is super cute and fun and all of the things. So with this one, we need 3 2.5 by 3-inch photos, which are, I believe, right here, 2.5 by 3. Yes, so they're sitting right here. I need to put foam behind each one of them. So I'm going to quickly do that. The cool thing about this one is that I'm not going to put a bunch of dimension or like a bunch of foam and stuff on this one, because I want the photos really to be the thing that stands up the most. And then the rest of the texture is going to come from kind of folding and not gluing things down thoroughly. So it's going to be super cute though. This is a fun page, and I love the design of this one, and I think that it's a design that I'm going to do more often. I love the way that everything kind of flows down the page. It's really pretty. It's quite a simple layout design, but and then we'll put this photo, I'm going to cut down slightly so that it fits behind this scalloped frame. I just didn't want any of the scallop parts to be hidden. We're good. So now I just need to put some adhesive on the back of the frame so I can add the photo there. Oops. Okay. All right. So these are going to go down the center of the page for all intents and purposes. And so for the page itself, we're going to have our photos just slightly offset. So can use my map here. I always forget about that. So use my map. There's 6 inches. I think we're going to go like at about, have the center part at about 6.5 inches, because there's going to be so much more weight on this left side of the page. So I want to make sure that it is balanced. So we want to make sure that we've got everything situated the way we want it. So here, here, and here. And I'm not going to glue these down, but I am going to add a little bit of tape runner behind them to kind of hold them in place while we kind of mess with things. And then this one. So I want them about an equal distance from the top to the bottom, and that's pretty good. So that kind of, now we've got all of our triangles that we cut. And like I said, there was a template there that I just cut one piece of it, and then I traced all of the pie squares out using the template itself. So what I want to do here is I want to try to score these. I was going to try and score them, but and honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be able to give them a little bit of a fold in the center. So it's just going to create a little bit of a shadow by doing this. So this one. And you can just simply fold these as well. That would totally work. So when I first go to score it, I am just giving a very slight So none of them are perfect, although that one worked out pretty well. This one. And you can, I didn't do this, but you can like run these through your either your sewing machine, or you can hand stitch down the center, and that would add a nice detail. On the project sheet, it shows them being stitched, so another one. You can hear the cat toys going on in the background. Bob like cringes every time I we get a package of like cat food from Amazon, because I always like pick up a cat toy or something along those lines. So we have like this collection of like mechanical or cat toys that, whether it's it moves, things that move on their own, and they all make noise. So like sometimes in the middle of the night you'll hear them. We'll hear them downstairs. And then sometimes they'll go, like, we have like a couple of things that have like these balls. One of these times I'll have to show you what it looks like, but what they look like. But they have like these, like a ball that goes around and it doesn't tip over. Anyway, so, but sometimes they go under the couch and we'll be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden we start hearing noises from underneath the sofa. So, okay, so we've got, so let's just quickly kind of figure out how we're situating these. So I'm going to do like a yellow one here and a little blue one. And then on this side, we'll have this guy and this guy. And then down here, we'll do this guy, and we want this guy and this guy. So I think I put him up there too. No, this one. I think we have 3 down here, because we have all 4 down on this end, and then this guy, and this guy. So we have like a variation of colors and patterns on each side. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to glue our photos down, and then we'll cut what we want to off so that they can tuck in properly. But I think that our photos need to be adhered properly. Okay, so this one, and this guy. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna make sure that the center one inches. So I just am going to, right here, I'm just going to add like a little mark so I know where this is going. This is going to be right centered here. And then below, I'm going to put this guy. And then above him, I'm going to put this guy. All right, so that is what we need to do. Now we're going to figure out how we're going to situate these guys. So I want to make sure, I think I trim about an inch maybe off of the ends of each of them, because I do need to tuck them in quite a bit. This one I'm going to cut down a little bit more, but this guy here and then this guy about here. So this one I'm going to cut a little more so he can fit in just a little bit more. And then this one also, I think knowing that I'm gonna try and tuck. Okay. I'm gonna cut more off this one. Okay, so there we go. So I want this one at about okay. So this way. And what I'm going to do, I don't want to glue them entirely down because I scored them. I'm just going to glue them along that fold line. You kind of have to be a little bit careful when you situate them and add the adhesive down. And one of the things that I am paying attention on this one, I don't want everything to be running down the midline, so I'm making sure that this pie shape is extended slightly beyond the center line here. Okay, so there's that one. Then we're going to take this guy and he's going to situate himself about kind of about right there. But honestly, I think that I need this guy first. Okay. So I think I want this one. About right there. And then this one, I'm going to put kind of about here. So I kind of want them just a little, I want them all a little wonky. Like I said, I'm just trying to glue them on that center line, because once they're glued down, then I'm going to kind of lift things and fold the edges up so that it has a little bit more dimension. And then this one over here, I think it's gonna go about right here, but I'm gonna cut probably slightly less than an inch there. This one's gonna sit here. And this guy is gonna kind of tuck in over here. But I want this one to stand out just a little bit more. Can you hear my cat? He's carrying a toy. Because that's a very important thing that he does every night. Okay, so this guy, add some adhesive too. And the cool thing about this page is that this type of design is that it's less it's less constructed, and it's more of a feel, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever watched Project Runway, but you see people that do, hi sir, thank you. Bob, if you're watching and you hear this, I think he needs food. Let it sits about right here. And then this piece we're going to add. So like when you watch Project Runway and you see people do draping, that's what this feels like to me. And just a little further. All right. So I've got this. And, you know, if you wanted to add stitching and you haven't done it, you can just do it afterwards, because a lot of this is going to be, you'll be able to, or at least you can even add some stitching on a couple of the pieces, which would look awesome. So, all right, so now on this side, again, I'm going to cut about an inch off of each. And this first one, I'm going to put about here. And then this one, I'm going to tuck in a little further, I think, so I'll cut a bit more off of him. And then the yellow one is going to go in further, so I'm going to cut a little more off of him. So I'm going to kind of, you see how this kind of fans? I love the flow of this page. I think it's, and then this guy is going to kind of be about here. Okay. So let's start with this one. The one thing, right? Okay. You know what? We're gonna go with it. I'm not gonna overthink it. Okay. So I'm going to put him down. This one, we'll add some adhesive just along the fold. And I'm going to actually, think I need to put this guy down first. And situate him so that he's about this. And then this one will kind of layer underneath here. I think. About right there. So I'm just going to kind of situate that. And then this one is going to go and tuck itself right here. I think I need to cut more off of him because alrighty. So there is that part. And then the rest of it just pieces together pretty easily. The one thing that we've got to do is we've got to figure out, because I am cutting these portions of them. So we're going to use half of a piece here and half of a piece there. So we've got this guy and this guy and this guy, and then let's see, actually I'm going to use that one. I think I'm using this one. Okay. And then we're going to put this guy, and then let's see, we have another one with a little this guy here. So these just kind of are going to rest on top. And take one of these, and I think do a smaller-ish one that sits about right here. I think, right, yeah, so there. And then on the top, this, not sure. One second. I'm going to look at these because okay, let's see here. Yeah, I think we're going to do this one here and this one kind of up here, and then another smaller and then I think, okay, so that's kind of how they're going to be situated. And the only things that I'm probably going to add some foam to the flowers. Yeah, I think I am. And so let's do that. I know that I think I want one of the more colorful ones up at the top here. And I'm going to cut him in half because we're going to layer him under stuff and I don't want to waste it. I'm pretty good about like letting go on a lot of things, but flowers are one of those things that are valuable commodities, and especially when they're good ones. These are one of my favorite set of flower floral die cuts that we've ever done. So I love them. So I don't want to waste any of them. Okay, so this guy is going to situate himself right in here. And then this one is going to do the same. Okay, so this one, let's put a little piece towards maybe the outside here, because I have a lot of foam and stuff that's sitting. So this one, I think that he'll, wrong one, this guy. Again, it's going to kind of be hiding underneath here as well. So I want to now I'm wishing I hadn't cut him as much. Guess what happens when you make a mistake like this? You fix it, and this is how you do it. So this is kind of like, this is, and I use it all the time, and I talk about it all the time. This is like Post-it note paper, and it has kind of the same, you could use washi for this as well, but you just piece it back together. And honestly, once it's put down, you'll never know. So I need to figure out where I wanted that cut, but I cut too much of it because it needs to situate itself about here. You know what, I'm going to leave it whole maybe, but if I cut, I'm going to cut right there because I want that, it needs to have all the petals there. So okay, so now we can add the foam behind him. All right, and a little bit on the other leaf. The other thing nice about using this foam is that when you put your liquid glue on the back, you've got a little bit of time to maneuver things around a little bit. so that you can get them in place. You can kind of adjust it a little bit as the glue sets, as opposed to if you're using like a foam square that has adhesive on both sides. Once you stick it down, it's down and it's where it's going to be. And with this, you have more give, or more leeway, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there's that. And he's going to situate, I've got cat hair. He's going to situate himself about right there. And then we're going to kind of bring him up slightly. So we'll situate about right there. And then we're going to I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to kind of, the other ones, I'm not going to bend them up too much because they're more solid and they've got more going on. These are kind of little, not plain, but they're more on the simple side, and the shape lends itself well to adding a little curve to the petals, where the other ones I don't quite feel that way. So, and then I'll just take a little bit of foam and add it to the bottom. And he'll go right there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys down. Glue, 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 glue. So like I said earlier, we are watching Deadwood, and it's kind of a fun show, and I'm curious if any of you guys have watched it, and if you did, who is your favorite character? I think Calamity Jane is so funny. She's my I think she's my favorite character on that show. Okay, so I'm just going to sit him here. And I'm going to attach it more heavily to the lower edge. I don't want to, I kind of want to have a little bit of movement here so that there's a little give between those two. I don't want to smash them down together too heavily. Okay, and then finally, this guy, he just needs a little, put a little bit of glue on both, because he's not entirely flat on the bottom, because I did all the messing with the adding the curve to the petals there. Just giving a little stick a little bit. All right, so then we'll go down to the bottom here, and we are using this guy, and again, I'm just going to cut the very bottom here. Where's my foam? Let's kind of clean it up a little bit on this side, because I've got a bit of a mess going on. And I'll let you think that I create in a clean and organized way. Oh, you finished Band of Brothers. We watched that. We just finished that not too long ago, and I loved it. The acting was great. The characters were all so interesting. And I loved that they interviewed the actual soldiers throughout the whole series. I think initially I didn't realize that it was I knew that they were soldiers that had been in yeah, definitely a tearjerker for sure. I knew that they were all soldiers that had served during the war, but I didn't realize they were the actual soldiers that were depicted in the show. So I thought that was super, just very, very interesting and very moving. You know, you just don't realize what those kids were so young, you know, to send them out to face such horrors. Okay, so this guy's gonna go here, and then this guy, he's gonna need some foam for sure. Yeah, the interviews, I loved them. And I have seen, I really enjoy like historical fiction. So I've read a lot of well, I've read some memoirs, but I've also, you know, listened to some historical fiction books that took place during that time, and it's just unbelievable what took place. I recently, what was the book that I watched or that I listened to recently? It's super long, but it's called I Escaped from Auschwitz, and it is a memoir of a guy who, I think he was from, if I remember right, he was a Jewish guy from Poland, and his family, I think if I remember correctly, he was trying, his mom was trying to get him out of Poland, and he was captured by the Nazis there and was taken to, can't remember which concentration camp he was taken to. I want to say it was, and I'm gonna say this wrong, but Dachau, and anyway, it's if you listen to audiobooks at all, it's included on Audible, and it's one of the free titles. So, or at least it was when I read it, and such a moving book. And then there was another one called The Night, and that was another memoir by I don't remember the author's name, but I can find it if anybody's interested, and I can share it in our book thread in our Craft and Connect community. But both of those were just very heart-wrenching, and the resilience of just the strength and bravery that it took for the two men. One was like he was a young boy. The other guy that I escaped from Auschwitz, he was not an older man, but he was a bit older, so he wasn't a child. Lift this up just slightly because it's going to overlap here. Okay, so that will go there, that will go there, and then we need this little guy. But honestly, do I want him? Or do I want him? I think I want the smaller one. Okay, I'm going to fold up these little petals here. Now, this layout, we're going to add the mixed media stickers underneath here shortly, but this page could have easily been done with regular mixed media, using like what people refer to as the packaging technique or the smooshing technique, and you could have added the colors kind of in the areas where you knew that you were going to put your layers. And so if you don't have this kit or these stickers to use, you can use real mixed media. This guy, I'm going to glue him down. I already did. Okay. So this guy, that little floppy tail thing bothers me, but if I don't have it, then life's not good, because my bottle will get all clogged. Okay, so this guy is going to go here. I just want to make sure he sticks. All right. He's kind of sticking. All right, so then we go over here and we are going to cut him. I'm trying to think of which side I want, whether I want this side that's more pink, or if I want this bolder side. More red. I think I want this one. I think that just going to trim that off. And my phone. Okay. So he's going to go here. Situate him there. And then this guy is going to go situate him about, maybe lift him up just a little bit. So this. Okay, so I'm going to kind of situate him here, and then this guy, to here, save him, and then add a little bit of foam behind him. And I need just a tiny piece to go behind the leaf there. So pretty. So if you like these, the flowers that are in this kit, you're going to love the florals that are in our September kit just as much, because they're super, like, they're very interesting, like these are. Just a really nice mix of so I'm going to put him kind of right here. Okay, so I think I'm going to glue this guy down here. Okay, so he's going to situate himself right there. Then this one is going to be about, gosh, trying to wonder if this, I feel like I've still got too much foam here. Okay. I'm not able to nest this exactly where I want him to be. I'm kind of wondering if I just need to peel that part off so that he can sit about, yep, that's what needed to happen, because he's going to go right here. And I'll probably add just a little bit of adhesive there. So I want him to sit. And like, if you were making this page separately, and let's say you, rather than putting your photos down first, or you just kind of place your photos so that you can figure out where your little pie shapes are going to go, then you can remove your photos and you can actually do some messy stitching and kind of stitch a little bit beyond these little triangles. That would look super cool, I think, if that's something that you would be interested in doing. It would look very nice. Okay, so then this one is going to just slip right there. And I may add, good grief, see, having some problems. This guy does not want to stick down. It's because the I'm getting glue everywhere. Okay, I'm just going to hold this for a second so that he stays in place. And now we're going to add our, okay, so there he is. Kind of lift this up just a little so he just doesn't look so glued down. I kind of want him glued in the center, but I don't want him to lose that organic kind of feel. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add some puffy stickers, but not quite yet. We need our, our mixed media stickers. Where did I put them? Here they are. Okay. So honestly, initially when I decided that when I designed this page, this is where I stopped. But I do need we do have one thing that we need to add here, and I think he is going to situate himself right between the two of these things here. I think I want him going, I want him to hang off here just a bit, so. And I think he's going to need a bit of foam right here, because and I'm not too worried about this right there, I don't think. Okay, so there's that. Now we need to do our mixed media stickers here. So we want, let's see. Okay, so we're going to start. Book. Let's see here. Just want to make sure that I am able to hang on one second. I just want to make sure that I cut these properly because we're going to use portions of them in different places. So I want to make sure that okay, here we go. It's hard for me to tell with this black and white project sheet that I'm sitting here with. And let's see. Bear with me for just a second. I just want to make sure that I'm telling you to do the right thing. Not that that's... Okay. July. All right, this is what I wanted to see. Okay. Okay, so we want to make sure that we've got enough of these where we want them to be. So I'm going to kind of cut them apart so that we can make sure that we're setting them in the right place. So up here towards the top, this guy's going to go. And I may have to peel up some of the stuff that we've kind of glued down. And then this one, part of it is going to go here, and then part of it's, so I'm going to cut this in halfish. So part of it's going to go up here, then part of it is going to come down here, and then we've got this pink one, and we're going to use this one in 2 spots also. So we're going to put some here, and then we'll put some up here. And this helps, this really helps with the flow of the page. And then this one is going to go down here. So I think that that makes sense. Does it not? Now, one of the things that's bugging me about this is, well, put that there like that, and then I'm going to find something to put there because this space right here is bugging me. Okay, so let's, now the key is very, very careful when you remove these. The other thing that we want to do is when we get ready to stick them down, we want to make sure that everything is freed up where we want to put it. So I'm going to kind of, this is the tricky part. Okay. See how cool that looks? All right, so we've got that. And then we'll put this guy up towards the top. Just have to figure out where the part that I'm going to peel. There. Okay. Again, careful. You peel them. And this guy, we are going to put kind of up here. I'll lift some of this stuff up. So we have some color here. Put that aside. And this one we'll do over here. But for those of you that love the look of mixed media but aren't comfortable with trying it, these are a fantastic. There's a hair there, I don't know. Glue underneath this. Right. This just slightly. I want to make sure that I can get this where I want it. So here he goes. It looks like we painted it, right? And then up here, I have this guy. And this is where some of this lifting comes into place, but nobody will notice. Okay. Now the bottom piece. This guy. This is where this, got to be really careful. This one is going to sit kind of right here. And I might need to use a little piece of something else to kind of fill in a couple little spots, but kind of figure that out. Okay. This one I'm going to put here. But I feel like we're missing something right there, and so I might use this one and kind of layer this here. Yeah, I think that that's the answer to my problem. This one is messed up there at the top, so I'm going to trim that. Okay. And just going to this is what I meant. You have to be careful. That's better. And then do I want, I think I want something that fills this spot. So I'm going to put him there. Because I'm tucking him underneath, I'm not going to put foam on him. But this little bare spot here needs to be filled in. And then I feel like there needs to be something else. It's kind of over on this side. I wonder if I want, actually maybe I don't want this guy. Maybe I just want a bigger one. Yeah, I think I want that guy. Because then he'll fill up some of this bare space that's like sitting right here between those, that mixed media spot. So I'm going to put him kind of right this up. Sometimes you just have to roll these around until you find the right placement. Okay, I think he's good now. I don't think I want another one. And do I think I want that guy? You know what? Yep, he's going to fill that spot. That's why we kept him. See how that just adds a little bit of color, repeats the green. Alrighty. So now we just have a couple of butterflies to add. So we've got this guy, and we should have right pink one. So we'll put him down right on top. You know what? I'm going to put foam behind him because I want these guys to be able to kind of lift up a little. So add a little liquid glue here. Yeah, I don't want them to be stuck. I'm hoping that glue will stick to the I'm not sure if that's going to work or not because I don't know if it's going to. Okay, so then we're going to add him over here. And then we'll add another one. Let's see. We'll do this little pink guy up here. And I think we're done. Done, done, done. Let's see, did I? It's easier to throw scraps away than it is to clean up mixed media mess. Well, you know what, Michelle? Glass mat like this makes mixed media super easy because you just take a paper towel and wipe it off. You're not getting it. You use it kind of as your paint palette too, so it's super, super cool. And it works very, very well for that stuff. So I want to make sure that I'm putting these flowers back in a place that they'll get used. Gosh, I have this little guy. I wonder if I want him here. Do I want that there? There's that little bare spot there. I think having a little something there might be nice. Yeah, I think I do. Two flowers that we saved part of that came in handy. Perfect. So, didn't need to be a lot of there we go. There. All right. I'm going to flip these little leaves up a little bit. Kind of flip these up just slightly. These are perfect for kind of giving a little curl to. These. Perfect. All right. We're done. About 3 hours. Just, you know, you're talking to me, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. Or do I want that there? I'm almost thinking I do. To look and see. I might want him there. Because we have butterflies with or without. I think it might have crowded it. Oh, Kim, you're so sweet. Yeah, this is a good one. I don't think that I do want him there. I think he's too big. So if I decide to add anything else, I'll let you know. But I don't think I do. I think I like it just the way that it is. I love you just the way you are. All right, people, we are done. 2 pages. Let's take a peek at all 3 of the layouts that we did with these kits. And the cool thing is, look how different they all are, right? So I need to put the lid on this. Okay. So I must be behind. Okay. So all 3 pages are done, and they're all super colorful, but like nothing's overbearing, nothing's too busy. There's a really good balance on each one of them. Like your photos, when you put your photos down, your photos are still going to be the focus of each one of your pages. So you know what I need to do with this one is I need to remove the pencil line here. I can do that later. So, yep. So 1, 2, this was the one we did last week, and 3. And I love how every single one of them turned out. But I have to agree with you, Kim. This one is my favorite. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today and spending your Friday, or is it Friday? Yep, it's Friday. Thanks for spending your Friday night with me and doing something a little creative. I look forward to these so much, and the nice thing for me is that it allows me to schedule time to do the part of my job that I love so much, and being able to do it with all of you here just makes it extra special. So I'll be updating our schedule and making a plan for our August Craft and Connect class, and I'll be doing that this week. So stay tuned for that. And I just need to finish the project sheets so we know what we're going to do. And I just want to make sure that they're extra special and just different, and maybe, you know, some will get you to try something that you wouldn't normally do. So try to recreate the wheel a little bit every month. So anyway, thanks for joining me, you guys. I will see you next week. And I just want to thank you all for joining me, and be sure to check out our Craft and Connect community. Check out our website, hipkitclub.net, and check out our kits. So all of the details and all of the links are in the description box below. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that. Hit the notification bell, and give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.